Mahajanapada era, two of India's greatest little epic poems were the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. These were the two longest poems in the world dating back to 400 BC. Mahabharata is a Sanskrit poem with 100,000 verses and is also the longest poem of humanity, also by Maharishi, the excellent form of a Sanskrit epic. The Ramayana consists 24,000 verses. The Ramayana and the Mahabharata are two books with the greatest written evidence in the world. In Mahabharata and Ramayana, as including Ceylon and India, there are 16 Janapadas. Also, Ramayana and Mahabharata language belongs to the oldest language known as Sanskrit. Before the pre-Buddhist era began, Indian civilization still exists as we have given the information. Another evidence is that before the pre-Buddhist era, there was an amazing discovery by the archaeological excavations as they have uncovered the city of Dwarka, which was ruled by Lord Krishna. Basically, after Krishna died, the city was submerged. Archaeologists later found out an underwater sunken civilization. And the story of Ramayana extends to South India and Ceylon. There are mighty stories in history and there are written evidence too. And also, there has been written a Sanskrit book after Mahabharata. It is the Vyavadanya. This book has been written in 200 AD, 350 AD. In this book, it mentions about the Sinhala nation. In the Vyavadanya, in the part Makhandikavadanya, in the 36th chapter, it mentions about the Sinhala nation. To prove this, there is a story behind this. Vistarena Rakshasi Sutrang Sarvang Vacham Sarvate Vanijo Bala Bashwa Raja Patita Tahishwa Rakshasibir Hakshita Sinhalaka Ekwaswasti Shamabhyam Jambudvipa Manuprapta. There was a rich merchant named Singha who lived in North India with his son Sinhala. This son named Sinhala was none other than the Supreme Buddha. Singha's son Sinhala came to Sri Lanka and married Anupama, the beautiful daughter of Magandhika Piravajji. Before Prince Vijay arrived, Sinhala people were still there. The starting of Sinhala people came from Singha's son Sinhala who married Anupama. We tell you today that Sinhala still exists in Sri Lanka even though it is lost in India. After Sanskrit sources, many Pali sources have written books. In Sri Lanka accordingly, the Mahavansa, Deepavansa and some other books are important. The Mahavansa belongs to the 8th century AD. There are details about many kings in history of Lanka. Before the pre-Buddhist era, Sri Lanka, it was King Ravana civilization. Mahabrahma's son is Pulasti Rishi. Pulasti Rishi's son is Rishi Visravasa. Rishi Visravasa's son is King Ravana. King Ravana is Mahabrahma's great-grandson. Because of this, King Ravana was known as Brahmaraksha. King Ravana's brother was Lord Vibhishana. He belonged to the Naga tribes. His mother was Queen Malani. Lord Vibhishana was known as the Nagaraksha. Lord Vibhishana ruled Kalania. There were two brothers called Churodhara and Mahodara who ruled Kalania during the time of Lord Buddha's visit to Sri Lanka. In Mahavansa, it clearly mentions about they have ruled in Kalania. Before the Lord Buddha visited Lanka, the down south area of Sri Lanka, in traditional dancing there was the Hatapalya Baliyaga, which includes the facts that we told you about previously about the Brahmaraksha. Nagaraksha are included. Now here are some pictures of maskers to give you an idea about this. traditional dancing. It comes with costumes, music, instruments, as well as it proves well. And in traditional events, they have also decorated them really beautifully. Here are some photographs based on that. In Asian continents like Thailand, Cambodia, and India, like countries had similar masks, costumes, Nagamurgal, as in their culture also includes. Here are some evidence to prove that King Ravana's civilization existed. In the north side of Sigiriya, there is a place called Rama Jungle. Because this place is known as Rama Jungle, is that this is where Rama first encamped when he came to fight against King Ravana. There they have found a small pagoda. Inside this pagoda was the Mahameru stone and the statue of the three Buddhas along with the two Bodhisattvas. Now the problem is, how was this model broken then? Why aren't they placing it together? There is another evidence in Sigiriya about the roof tiles, as they have been written letters that were used in King Ravana's generation. Manavi Vimalratana Theru explains about these roof tile letters. The roof tile letters are actually the Hela-Akru alphabet. Sri Lankan archaeological researchers who went to the north side of Sigiriya found a small pagoda as inside was a Mahameru stone. The Mahameru mountain name is used in the Buddhist culture. It describes as a golden light. Archaeological researchers say it is located in the center of the universe. They say Mountain Mahameru was a place for gods. Archaeological researchers say that Sigiriya was an idea taken from Mountain Mahameru. Nanatna Charya, Najatana Patka, Nanashanang, Standila Shai Kava, Narajo Malang, Nut Kutuka Prahana, Vishodayen, Mohama Mishirna, Kadkasham, Lankrutash Chapi, Chareta Dharma, Dan Then Driyan, Shantam, Sanyato Brahmachari, Sarveshu Bhuteshu, Nidhaya Dhanda, Sabhrakmanam, Sashramanam, Sabhikshu. In the time of the Buddha, a young monk called Sangharakshita taught the Nagacharyan. The paths called Diga, Majjhima, Sanyukta, Anguttara. Sangharakshitavadanya is in the poem in Vidyavadanya. Today, we're going to be revealing you a secret. Do you know what it is? In Ramayana, Mahabharata, two communities called Raksha, Kinnara, and also there have been beautiful ladies called Apsaras and Kinnaras were none other than the king's wives. Because of their beauty, they were known like goddess in heaven. At that time, Apsaras, Kinnaras have been in Cambodia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, in the North Himalayas, and in Laos. Laos states at that time there is a culture belonging to the Khmer Empire. That is evident from the Khmer civilization. This civilization culture proves well about their traditional dancing, costumes, music, instrument, jewelry. In the Mahavansa and the Vyavadana, it clearly mentions that the Lord Buddha visited Lanka 3 times. Sri Lankan archaeologists do not research about Lord Buddha's visit to Lanka. We invite world archaeology teams to come and research about this. Jewish and Sinhalese are 2 great nations. Jewish have proved well about their civilization. In Sri Lanka, King Ravana civilization, Sri Lankan archaeology do not prove anything about this era. We have written evidence about King Ravana's era. So these are cultural evidence and beliefs. We must give priority to the 2,500 years cultural civilization. In Jewish, King David's and King Solomon's time period, and Magadishwar, Maharati, King Ajasatru, Lankeshwar, Chulodana Mahodara. To research about their history, we need support from the world archaeological organizations. We ask American, Australian, Indian, Japanese archaeologists to help us research about this. And especially we invite special archaeological teams to help us research about this.